Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2, and that is the total aggregate of this entire double header encounter between Arsenal and Liverpool. Remember, the first encounter happened at the Anfield in there, and the result ended, and the game ended 0-0 in favor of a team which goes by names of no, it went in no one's favor. I'm sorry about that. And today Liverpool comes in at Emirates, showing that the team that really wants this result more than Arsenal in there, because you saw the body language of these players in there, and Liverpool really want this game of football in here. Smash the like button, comment and share. This is the Rokani Media Football, and welcome to our channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Today, it's now confirmed the Carabao Cup final is in between Liverpool and the team which goes by the names of Chelsea in there. Remember, Chelsea knocked out Tottenham Hotspur on a 3-0 total goal aggregate in there for you. And as we speak right about now, it's Liverpool versus Chelsea. How does Liverpool come into the final? It's after them beating Arsenal by 2-0 today. A game that showed what the mindset of every player is all about. You get? It has shown us the mindset of what every team is all about. For Arsenal, it's all about coming in, playing in there, but Liverpool, they play business in there. They come into this game very much needing this result in there for you, and what they did on the pitch was so much similar to what they've always done, because Arsenal really looked like they were at a picnic in there. They were like in a holiday. The only player I saw in Arsenal that was really very active into this game was Martinelli, Lokonga, and the goalkeeper who goes by the names of Aaron Ramsdale. But the rest, they look like they're on a total holiday in there. Arsenal really needs to get its mindset to another level. I think this is the game that really shows you the difference between Arsenal and Liverpool. A title-winning team and a team whose mindset is not yet so much focused on the title, but to be in the top 4 positions in there. And if I told you look at the entire Arsenal community, they felt satisfied. Even after the result at Anfield, they are very much satisfied. And for my case, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I was not satisfied at all, because I felt like Arsenal could have got a win at Anfield, because Liverpool looked very poor. And today, what happened at Anfield has happened. What happened to the hosts at Anfield has happened to the hosts at a team which goes by the names of, at the stadium which goes by the names of Emirates Stadium. Arsenal being the hosts and playing like that, because Arsenal really had a very big edge over Liverpool, because they had frustrated them at Anfield, and Liverpool came in here and they really thought that, oh, let's go slow because Arsenal is at home. When we were at Anfield, Arsenal really acted like a team that was going to beat us. And guess what happened today? Arsenal didn't show up. I tell you the truth. Arsenal didn't show up, because if Arsenal had shown up, I really feel like they would have been the team that would have won this game. Arsenal didn't show up today. That's the fact. They didn't show up today. And the result today has really shown us that Arsenal is really lacking players in there. Because the coming on of Thomas Partey, all the way from Ghana, he arrived on, because they were knocked out on Monday, he arrived on Tuesday afternoon, and guess what? He was in the match squad today. That shows you that Arsenal is lacking squad depth, because there is no way you put on a player who has even gotten what we call the playing lag and you put him onto the pitch. That's what Arsenal has done today, and guess what? He has not disappointed them and has gotten a red card in the 90th minute. That is Thomas Partey. 15-20 minutes onto the pitch, he's sent off the pitch. That is Thomas Partey in there for you. It shows you how much Arsenal are really lacking in there in squad. Because to me, if at all I were the manager, I would have prepared for the game in the weekend. Why should I really go in and stress myself into this game? Because I just have to use the players that are available. Because Thomas Partey coming in, very frustrated, you get, and he gets a red card. That's another frustration adding to Thomas Partey, because he's from the African Cup of Nations. His team has failed to get out of the group stages. They were knocked out, and you really expect him to come in through and give you the need for onto the pitch right now. I think he needed to resettle his mind back, train with Arsenal, and then come and appear on Sunday in there. That's what I really feel like Arsenal is going through a turmoil in there for you. But back on the game, Liverpool coming to this game knowing that all what we want is a win to get through. And in the 19th minute, Diego Dello scored that goal. In the 77th minute, he gave Liverpool a second goal, and Liverpool was leading by 2 goals to 0. And this is when I really got to confirm that Arsenal cannot really get near Liverpool anymore, because Liverpool scored the first goal and they really sat back to see what Arsenal was bringing. And when they saw that Arsenal was bringing nothing, they really put their foot on the pedal again and say, all right, let's try and see. And they really did it again and again, and they caused Arsenal damage, and they've got Arsenal off the break always. So I really feel like it's Liverpool, well-deserved win for Liverpool. Arsenal didn't deserve any result in this game because they looked very, very, very bad. If it was not Ramsdale, Arsenal would have really swallowed some good number of goals in there for you. And they looked sloppy. You get Tomiyasu, Kian Tierney in the midfield. The only active was Lokonga. And talk about the man who goes by the names of Lokonga in the midfield in there. I really like the way he played. He bossed it sometimes around, but it was really a very heavy load for him to carry, because Liverpool had lots of players into this match. Fabinho, the notable one, he's one of the best central defensive midfielders in the world. You get? So Lokonga was against Jones, Fabinho and Henderson. You get? And he was the only one who could really go toe on toe with these players, and only Fabinho is so much for Sambi Lokonga. So I really feel like Lokonga really did his best into this game, because I really felt like it called for more effort into the midfield in there for you. And Grant Xhaka, who could have given them that experience, was red carded at the game on Anfield, something that shows how bad Arsenal looked today. You get? Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, Kian Tierney, Lokonga, Saka, Odegaard, Emily Smith-Rowe, Martinelli and Lacazette in a 4-1-4-1 system in there for you, and they really failed to get a result at home, because I really feel like there are not going to be very many changes that Arsenal are really going to make when they are playing their next game. I think there are no many changes they're really going to come out and make, because that's what they are all up to and that's what they can provide to us. But all in all, a team that goes by the names of Liverpool has really come out and edged a team which goes by the names of Arsenal at Emirates in there. After the result that Arsenal got at Anfield, most of us were very, very much positive that, oh my, Arsenal was really going to give Liverpool a hard time. But Lacazette, very wasteful. You get, in games like this, what really puts you ahead are the chances that you get and how you utilize them when you really get them. That's the difference that really happens in such games. And you've seen it in most finals, most semi-finals, especially in the knockout tournaments. It's not all about the chances you create. It's all about how many goals you score. You might create very many chances and you don't score. And a team like Liverpool will come in and don't create very many chances and utilize all those the little chances they've got to go ahead and edge a team which goes by names of Arsenal. Let's go to the stats in there and read them for you. Liverpool had 3 shots on target. Arsenal had 2 shots on target. You see? So that shows you that on the 3 shots that Liverpool had on target, 2 of them got past the goal line of Arsenal and 1 missed. 2 shots Arsenal had, none of those went all across the goal of Liverpool. What does that show you? It shows you that Liverpool was more clinical in there. Diego Jota was more clinical. And if at all, Lacazette was more clinical as Diego Jota, we would have been doing a different story all here. It would have been a different story altogether. Liverpool would have been out, because I really felt like Lacazette had chances to come in and really kill off this game, but he really failed. Martinelli playing very well off that left attacking side of the midfield, but he really lacked help in there, because each and every time you break through and you don't really narrow down the stadium, it really affects you as Martinelli, because to me I really feel like the best left attacking midfielder should always narrow down the stadium such that you create space for the left fullback to come in and do the needful when you're really closed down by these other players in there. But I really felt like each and every time Martinelli got that ball, he ran towards that corner flag in there for you. And by the time he really felt like I should really cut inside, Liverpool had already covered up and they couldn't come up and do the needful in there for you. So, you know, my girlfriend is making me laugh. She's here. So, we're just doing this live together. One day I'll call her and we do a presentation together. I don't know whether you guys are welcome. You're welcome right here. But all in all, Liverpool have really beat Arsenal. And the reason as to why Liverpool is through is simple. The mindset of the players of Liverpool is different from the mindset of the players of Arsenal. Today, it had to be a do. It's not do or die. It was supposed to be a die game for Arsenal players. We needed to see Arsenal players chasing that ball from minute 1 to the 90th minute. We needed to see those players of Arsenal showing that they need more. They need this game than the Liverpool players. But Liverpool players came up and showed that they need this game more, having a launch of the possession, winning the secondary balls in there, and they couldn't allow Arsenal to operate. What they did was, Arsenal is not going to operate into the central axis. That's why you see Odegaard, every time Odegaard got to that ball, you saw close to 2 Liverpool players onto them, because Jurgen Klopp knows that the only spark that Arsenal could create into this game was a player who goes by names of Odegaard, and he was very, very, very much on point, because all these games that you've seen Arsenal come in and win, most of the goals come in from Odegaard, the assists I mean. It might be a 4th assist, it might be a secondary assist, it might be a 3rd assist in there, all an assist itself. But just watch that Norwegian. Each and every time he gets hold of that ball, it's a different story altogether. It changes immediately, because Arsenal are really, 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 really a very good team, but they lack service from the midfield. And it's very hard to come up on a team like Liverpool, which has Trent Alexander-Arnold, which has Virgil van Dijk, which has Matip, Robertson, all of that back 4. Those are almost world class. I think only one that is doubtfully not world class. I think it's Joel Matip. But the rest of Arsenal, but the rest of the back 4, right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold, proven world class right back. Robertson, proven world class left back. Virgil van Dijk, proven world class centre back. And in front of them, they're having a concrete of one of the best central defensive midfielders in the world, who goes by the name of Fabinho. They're having Henderson. You get? So that's a team that Arsenal was facing today. So it shows you that there is no way Arsenal would have broken this team down if at all they are really going to use the midfield. And that's what Arsenal did. That's what Liverpool did. They told them, no, you aren't really going to come in through and do the needful to us. Curtis Jones coming out, young and talented, and he comes through and blocks this midfield of Arsenal in there for you. And Arsenal really lacked that driving force from the midfield, because what Liverpool did, as I was telling you, they really said, Klopp told his players, close down a player who goes by names of Odegaard. He's the only player that can see out a pass to Bukayo Saka, Martinelli, and then we get hurt. And if at all those players really close down him very well, we aren't really going to get any problem. And that's what happened into this game of football. After Odegaard was closed down, Liverpool couldn't really gate any threat from Arsenal, because all of the balls that Arsenal were passing, they couldn't do that through pass through the midfield. And you saw Lokonga sometimes trying to redo that pass in there, and when he did it, he found out Lacazette in there. So that was what Arsenal needed to come out and hurt Liverpool, because Liverpool knew that the only player that could really come up and put up a show against them was Odegaard. Odegaard has a very good pass, and this worked in the favor of Liverpool, because Arsenal had no player that can make a run to force Odegaard to do that pass, because Odegaard can see out that pass to any player, but it couldn't really help out because no run was made. And what makes a central attacking midfielder not active into a game is him not having a player who can really make a run that can surprise him. And that's what happened to a side which goes by names of Arsenal. Odegaard always got hold of that ball and he couldn't see out a pass. That's why you saw him making negative passes and sideways passes. Not those forward passes as he used to make in there, because there were no Arsenal player that could make that run to attract him, do that pass in there. But he has the ability, because I always saw him getting that ball in the midfield, doing touches, and he ends up passing to Lokonga, all back to Tomiyasu, all Ben White, or to the goalkeeper, because no Arsenal player could come in and say, please, I'm making a run, to really see to it that you pass to me. That was what Odegaard was facing, and kudos to the manager of a team which goes by the name of Liverpool. That's what he did best. He knew that we cannot let Odegaard pass to people like Bukayo Saka when we are not fully packed. So that's what they did. They had to press down that man who goes by names of Odegaard, because in that entire match, he was the man that could come and hurt a team which goes by names of Liverpool. The other player that Arsenal had is Thomas Partey. He comes onto the pitch, gets a red card, doesn't really participate very well to the game, and the game gets done. And if at all our Arteta, what's the importance of putting Thomas Partey onto the bench when you know that your midfield is really weak? To me, I feel like start Thomas Partey with Lokonga into that central defense midfield, play a 4-2-3-1, Odegaard to play as a central attacking midfielder. In such a game like this, I don't start Martinelli. I start Emile Smith-Rowe, such that I really create myself balance in there. Bukayo Saka, 2 starts onto the right attacking midfield. Then Lacazette leads the line, or Nketiah. I would have even let Nketiah lead the line, such that I really have, when the game doesn't go as I want, I really have 2 players onto the bench to come on and sort out issues. That is Lacazette and Martinelli to come in and give me new life into the game. But I don't think Arteta really brought out a team that was going to beat Liverpool, because Liverpool was very much organized and Arteta couldn't stand them, because Liverpool's strength is the midfield, and you bring out a weak midfield. In this game, there is no worries, because in the weekend, Granit Xhaka is going to be available. He can play with Lokonga into that so-called double midfield pivot. But in a game like this, where you don't have Granit Xhaka and Liverpool is having one of the best stadiums in the world, you need a Thomas Partey to come in and tell him with Lokonga that do that blockage into the midfield, such that you'll give Odegaard chance to rotate and do his passing and movement, because this system of 4-1-4-1 limits Odegaard, because he has to track behind to see to it that he comes and covers up. But in the system of 4-2-3-1, when you are having Lokonga and Thomas Partey into the double midfield pivot, you just have to let Thomas Partey sit because he's tired or he's having a brain lag. Bring him onto the pitch, tell him, I don't want you to do a lot of running. Just stay into that area of the midfield and give that defense that cover. Because Lokonga is fresh, let Lokonga do that box-to-box roll, and Odegaard will come out and smash out a team which goes by the name of Liverpool. But all in all, things never went as I expect them to be, because I really feel like there is no way you bench Thomas Partey. I really called it as a mistake in the beginning of this video. But if at all you've decided that he's going to play this game of football, why don't you bring him immediately and start off this game? Because you need this game. He's not going to come and really do that change immediately. He needs time on the pitch. So it's better for him to start, play off this game immediately, because you've decided that it's going to start. Via the weekend, he can really come off the bench, because you're really going to welcome back Granit Xhaka. But in such a game, if you decide that Thomas Partey is going to be part of your squad, he needs to start. Whether he's from Africa, Cameroon, he needs to start, because that's what he is meant to do. You have no depth into the midfield. That's why you see Arsenal is running and trying to see to it that they complete their transfer of Arthur Melo, because I've read the story that the agent of Arthur Melo is at Conley today at Arsenal to meet with Arsenal and discuss, because Juventus want a loan of 18 months with an option to buy. That's what they really want, to let Arthur Melo leave Juventus. Then Vlahovic is a player that Arsenal is also needing in the transfer, and that is the story we're really going to do tomorrow in here. Tomorrow we are kickstarting off with doing 1 hour live stream videos. We're going to streaming for 1 hour. We are really going to be doing lots of stories in here. Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool, and very many more in here onto the Rokani Media football, because we feel like you really have to be watching us on a daily like this, and we are sorry for those streams that we don't make on the daily, but I really feel like we are really charging ourselves to do is that we bring you the best of production come tomorrow in there. So Arsenal are out, but they are out because of their manager, because I really felt like the selection of the team that Arteta put out was not yet up to standards to come up and compete with Liverpool. Yes, I really felt like if you bring in a player who goes by names of Thomas Partey into this side of Arsenal, why let him play only 16 minutes or 20? Just bring him to stay and play into that midfield, because you are lacking depth. Lokonga cannot take on Fabinho. Lokonga cannot take on Henderson. You get, he's not at that level. So he needs a support player like Thomas Partey, who is experienced with that midfield, because Thomas Partey's experience only could have saved the side which goes by names of Arsenal in there. So that's what we had for you. You can as well go to the comment section and tell us what you think about Liverpool being in the final and knocking out Arsenal. I go by the names of Aradi or Rokani. Smash the like button, comment and share. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as don't miss out on stories that we do upload on the daily. We out.